Chapter 15 of Yuddhanantara Parva, the death of the elders. 15 years had passed. The rule of Yudhishthira was that of an ideal king and an ideal man. His court had Kripa now. Vyasa made Yudhishthira appoint him as the tutor to Parikshit. Hastinapura was ruled by the ablest of men and the people were happy. Dhritarashtra, however, could not be happy. He knew that Yudhishthira was treating him as a king and as a father, that he was the most affectionate person he had ever met. But the heart of the old man was thinking only of his son Duryodhana. He could not forget his favorite child. He was with Yudhishthira for 15 years and now suddenly he wanted to go away to the forest. He talked it over with Gandhari. They were both of the same thinking. Dhritarashtra wanted to go away from the city where his son ruled once. He summoned Yudhishthira to his presence and told him about his wish. The king Yudhishthira was very unhappy and hurt by the attitude of his uncle. He tried to dissuade him, but the old man was adamant. Yudhishthira persisted in his pleading, but it was of no avail. Vyasa came and told Yudhishthira that he should allow the old king to go to the forest. It was the custom for kings to go away to the forest, renouncing worldly desires, and it was the proper thing to do. Very unwillingly, Yudhishthira allowed Dhritarashtra and Gandhari to go to the forest. A new shock was awaiting him. Kunti told him that she was also set on going with the other two. Yudhishthira did not know what to do or what to say. He was terribly upset by the declaration of his mother. All the sons and Draupadi and Subhadra and little Uttara tried to make her change her mind, but she was firm. She said that she had to do expiation for the sin she committed towards her child Radheya. She was very firm about it. They had to allow her to go. Vidura and Sanjaya also accompanied them. The next morning, Dhritarashtra, accompanied by Gandhari, Kunti, Vidura and Sanjaya, set out for the forest, mourned by all the citizens of Hastinapura. The Pandavas were not happy at the thought of their going. Very sadly, they bade farewell to all of them and returned to their empty palace. Their parting from their mother was too much for them. Dhritarashtra was first headed towards the banks of the Ganga, and from there he went to the ashrama of Vyasa. There they stayed, trying to assuage the grief in their hearts by listening to the words of the rishis there. Yudhishthira could not bear the parting from his mother. Sahadeva was feeling it too. One day, they suddenly decided to go to the forest and visit their mother and Dhritarashtra with Gandhari. It was a very pleasant journey. Soon they reached the ashrama where they were all staying. They were returning from the banks of the river when the Pandavas went there. Sahadeva rushed up to Kunti and fell at her feet. She was very happy to see her favorite child. All of them were seated inside the ashrama. They were not able to speak for a while. Later, they spoke of all that had happened during the absence of the elders from the city. Suddenly Yudhishthira looked around and said, "Where is uncle? Where is Vidura?" They told him that Vidura was mortifying himself and was living on just air. They said that he was in the heart of the forest and would come only very rarely. Someone saw him from a distance just then. They showed him to Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira went towards the spot where Vidura was. He was not the old Vidura. His body was a bundle of bones and he was almost dying. But his eyes were glowing with a strange intensity. Yudhishthira went to him and spoke to him. "I am Yudhishthira, my lord. Speak to me." It was obvious that Vidura could not speak. He stood leaning against a tree. Yudhishthira found himself compelled to look straight into the eyes of Vidura. Vidura's eyes burned into those of Yudhishthira. The four eyes were locked in this gaze for a while. Yudhishthira was not able to withdraw his eyes. A strange thing happened. Yudhishthira felt himself to be growing stronger and wiser. He found himself to be different. He felt that he was more like Vidura than Yudhishthira. He looked at Vidura and found that he was dead. He realized that Vidura had entered his body and had abandoned his. He wanted the body of Vidura to be cremated. He heard the voice of Dharma from the heavens. Dharma said, Vidura was the incarnation of Dharma, even as you are. When he died, he entered your body. You have Vidura in you now. As for his body, do not do anything to it. You must not cremate it since it is part of you. Leave it as it is and go and join your brothers. Yudhishthira went back to the presence of Dhritarashtra and he told them all about his strange experience. They spent a few days with the old people and then they were asked to return to Hastinapura. The parting from their mother was very difficult for them. Kunti embraced all of them and told her eldest son, My son, we may not meet again. Take care of my child Sahadeva. I have always loved him most. Though he is old enough, I feel that he is a child. Take care of yourself and all the others. Rule the kingdom well. I bless you all. They parted in tears and the procession wended its way to Hastinapura once more. 2 years later, Narada came to Hastinapura. He was received with great honor. It was known to Yudhishthira that the visit of Narada meant that he had something important to tell them. All the brothers were there, and Narada said, Yudhishthira, you are right in your guess. I have news of grave import to you. Your uncle Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, and Kunti were returning to their hermitage from the river. Sanjaya was with them. They were weak and ill with the severe penance they had been performing. It so happened that a fire had begun to burn the forest where they were staying. They saw the fire and made no attempt to escape from it. The king made Sanjaya leave them before the fire made it impossible for him to escape. He tried to protest, but the king insisted, and so Sanjaya went away from there to the Himalaya to spend the rest of his lifetime there. These three allowed themselves to be burnt by the forest fire. I am sorry to be the messenger of this bad news. Yudhishthira fainted away. Sahadeva wept like a child. Bhima was inconsolable. Their mother was dead. They could not grasp it at all, but they had to. It was not easy for the sons of Kunti to think of themselves as orphans. Their dear mother was dead. Kunti was the one person who went through numberless sufferings for their sake was now dead. Narada tried to comfort them. Vyasa came and he too tried to make them face the sorrow with fortitude. It was not possible. It took them months and years to forget the sorrow caused by the death of their dear mother. But time is a great healer. The Pandavas were once more able to concentrate on other things. They were able to devote themselves to the ruling of the kingdom. Parikshit was their source of comfort. The beautiful son of Abhimanyu was able to dispel their pain and sorrow. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.